Hey everybody, this is a training video for Unlimited Social Messenger 1.52 for the LinkedIn Group Messenger tab. We can also use this for the LinkedIn Group Messenger tab for the LinkedIn Rapid Group Builder and Messenger. So what you do here is you're basically sending messages directly to profiles inside of any group that you belong to on LinkedIn. Okay, you have to belong to the group, and I mean it. It could even be actually your own group. All right, just for clarification. But LinkedIn on March 31st, 2020, opened up groups so that you can message people inside of groups. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of caveat, but not a lot. And so I'm going to go over a few things, how this operates, and best practices as well. All right. So the first thing you do when you come into this tab is you click on Get My Groups, and that pulls in all of your groups. You can join up to 10 groups a day on LinkedIn, and you can join up to 100 groups. But I find personally that's overkill. I've got 22 groups myself. And, I might, connect with a few more, especially now that this facility's around. But generally speaking, there's tens of thousands of people in groups, and so you probably don't need too many. I was testing something, so I had set this to 20, but I sent 220 over the last about 36 hours. Right now I'm recommending that we do 200 a day, but I think we can probably get to 300, and I have capped the software at doing 300 a day. So it won't do more than that. So just FYI. So I'm going to continue to run tests and see if I can do 300 at this point without any issue. But I still don't know that for sure, so I'm going to suggest at the moment we don't do any more than 200 a day. How this operates, after you click Get My Groups, it brings in the groups. You select the group that you want to message. You can only select one group at a time. Then you set the limit, probably 200, and you have to select this little box here that says Message. Okay, there's no ifs or ands or buts. You have to select that. For right now, I want you to disregard these two buttons down here, and you can disregard the group invite because you really probably don't need to invite anybody if you can just direct message them right now. So anyway, after you have these selections and you have your message all set up, which I'll get to in a minute, you select the message down here, okay, and then you hit the play button, and that's it. Now, the software, it's going to go to the page. This is the page where all the messaging is done inside the group. So in a group, it's the members area where it says See All, okay, and that's on the upper right as you come to any group. Once you click on See All, this is what comes up. You have a search, but the search only works for member names, so you can't like search by title. So basically, this is what you have. And so the software will go to that page, but it will take a couple of minutes to get to that page. All right, everything that I've programmed about this is in slow motion. So it will take hours to send these messages. It will pause and it will count down. You'll see the countdown up here. Also, after it sends 20 to 25 messages, it then pauses for 15 to 20 minutes. So we don't know what the limits are right now. I've sped it up a little bit since I started, but I don't want to push it too much. So right now we're going to send out very slowly, and that may change a little, but not much. And so this is, in essence, this is what it is. You have the, the basic information here. okay, on somebody. And so that is what we're grabbing when we send the message, and that is what is populating here in the grid. So the name of the person, their information that they have in their title, and then their LinkedIn link, the group name, and the group link. Okay, so that's the information that we're collecting when we send, and you'll see this populating in the grid here. Now, as of this moment, all messages are personalized with a hello. So in this case, it's hello Brandy, comma, and then it goes to the next line and begins your message. All right. Now, the messaging is what is really key here, and I really want to talk about this because you know, technically you can send anything inside here. All right. I mean, you could even put a bunch of cuss words if you wanted to, but the group owner and or LinkedIn, they are watching for what is being sent. And we had one person, you know, go to a network marketing group and just put in, make $10,000 a month, work from home, here's my link. Basically, that was the message, and just a little bit more. And after a few messages, their messaging in the group was shut down, and that's for any group. So they can no longer message in groups unless they, you know, go, you know, beg LinkedIn to turn it back on again, or maybe it'll come back on in the future. I don't know, but it is possible to say the wrong thing and to lose your opportunity to message. So what I want to talk about right now are best practices and how to format your message. So the length of these sentences in here should be no more than 41 characters. All right, and if you put it in, you know, no more than 41 characters, and then you go down to the next line, everything will format just fine. Now you can put in a link. You can put in www.domainname.com / you know, whatever, okay, and it will show up as an appropriate link, all right, in LinkedIn. But you don't want to put in http:// because it won't then. It won't be clickable and look nice. So just remember that you don't have to put in that http :/ when you put in a link. And you can put in anything. You can put in a link to a YouTube video or whatever you want, all right, but you just want to do it appropriately, as I just explained. And you want to make sure that you do no more than 41 characters in length, all right, when you set up your message. Now, you also don't want to ever talk about money, you know, how much money somebody can make, how they're going to get paid, or anything when you're sending these type of messages. You don't want to be too salesy either. Okay, this is not an invitation to spam the group, because then you're just going to lose your ability to message. So we all need to understand that, and that is only common sense. And if I was running the show on LinkedIn, I would kick the person out too. You just can't do that. You're going to offend people. And what we don't want is, we don't want to offend a bunch of people, and then they can turn off their group messaging receiving capability and ruin it for all of us. So what do you do becomes the question. So you know, you don't talk about salesy, you know, kind of stuff, but the best thing that I think we can do is to start a message out that says, you know, I found your profile in the whatever group. In this case, it'd be the marketing, social media, business, or you know, coaching group, however I want to phrase that. So we want to reference the group that we found their profile in, you know, when we start the message, okay? So we'll start a message and say, hello, I found your, hello, then the first name, comma, next line, I found your profile in the whatever group. Now here I just blatantly asked a question for testing purposes. But as I move forward and I begin actual marketing, that's how I'm going to start out my message. So we have an opportunity to send a lot, so let's make sure that we use that best practice. So what do we do after that? What is the best practice? Well, I'll tell you, offering to communicate with somebody and build a relationship is the attitude that you need to have. Can you sell? Sure, yeah, if you do it appropriately. You can say, something like, I have a great opportunity for, those people that are interested, during the outbreak, we're all working from home. I'd like to talk to you about it. Would you be interested, or are you open to a new opportunity? If you are, then message me back. That's one way. The other way is I have a educational video on whatever the subject is that leads to the sale or webinar. But there's even a better way, and this is what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do, starting later today, is I'm going to set up my own group on LinkedIn that has to do with marketing for coaches. Now, if you noticed, all right, this is a group for group of coaches. It's social media business, life coaching, business coaching, and so all of these people are in the coaching industry, and there's 754,000 of them. So I got a lot of targets that I can do here. So I'm going to set up a group oriented towards marketing support for coaches. Okay, and then I'm going to offer some free information to people that are coaches, regarding growing their business, and I'm going to give away a course on something that will interest them, and invite them to join the group, where of course then I'm the leader and that thought leader in the group, and then I can market to them over and over, and I can build a list. Now, if any of you listening to this are not sure about how to set up a LinkedIn group, or you're not sure of specific language that you wanted to use, just get a hold of me, and I can make sure that you can take the same course that I'm giving away to them on how to set up a LinkedIn group and how to improve your marketing in this day and age for LinkedIn, which is what most coaches need to know. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that when a few months ago, when LinkedIn changed the group structure, anybody can invite somebody to join a group now. So it doesn't just have to be an invitation from the group owner or accepted by the group owner. So if I elicit a response from somebody and they join my group, they can go up and they can actually, let's see if I can get to it here. No, can't get to it here. That's okay. Anyway, when you first come into a group, on the top right, then you can see that there's a place to invite your connections to join the group, even though you're not the group owner or moderator. So what I plan on doing is eliciting everybody, asking everybody that when they join the group, asking them if they would be willing to invite their connections to join the group as well, exponentially building the group. So here we have an opportunity then to build our own group at a rapid pace from messaging other groups, asking people if they would like to join, giving them a good reason to join, and then providing some content for them and asking them to provide ideas and post those great ideas within the group to help each other. And then, I'll become the thought leader and leader of this, marketing. And of course, this is my perfect target market, is coaches. I have more coaches as clients than any other market niche. So business coaches, lifestyle coaches, leadership coaches, and then I can build a list essentially inside of LinkedIn that I can market to over and over. And I can back in my software and or other educational products. So you see my modus operandi here. I simply set up a message where I'm reaching out. I reference them according to the group, and let them know that I found their profile in that specific group. And if you're going to do more than one group, if you're going to market to more than one group, set up a message for each one and label it, according to the group. So put in the group name 1 for your first message to that group. If you make a second one into that group, then label it that group name 2. And when you go to a different group, set up a different message specifically for that group. It may be the same message, you may just change the name of the group inside the message. But this way, you can semi-personalize your messages and develop a best practice so that you can reference people. Because, this is relatively new. They're wondering, well, how did you get a hold of me? Because you're not part of my network. So they may know that, they may not know that, but the important thing is that when you put it right in the message and then you provide value in the message, then that is what you can do. So no salesy language, provide value in the message, aim at building a relationship, no spamminess whatsoever, and you'll benefit greatly from this. This is a very powerful tool, a fantastic new capability that we've been handed. So let's don't mess it up. Let's make sure that we do exactly the right thing to build a list for ourselves that we can then market to over and over and back in multiple products. Okay, so that's what this is about. So one more time, you click on Get My Groups, brings in your groups. Okay, you select the group that you want to message. You select this little box here that says message. You set your limit. Okay, if you set it to 200, remember it's going to be more than 4 hours before that 200 is sent, so plan on that. So it's going to be like all morning, for instance. Select the message that you're going to send. Okay, make sure it's formatted properly. All right, and you won't have anything in here probably, and then just hit the play button. Now the next day, after you've sent a couple hundred, do you need to do anything? Well, no, other than go into your inbox and collect your leads. No. But the question becomes, well, how do you manage the next day? And the answer is you don't. You don't have to. All you do is you come back and you can reset this to whatever you want to send. If you wanted to send less, like 150 instead, because it was taking too long, set it to 150. But make sure that you have it set to whatever limit you want, and then just hit the play button again. The software remembers where it left off. It'll go back to the 200th profile, and it'll start at 201 automatically. So you don't have to set it or set a range or anything. Okay, and it will just continue on and go from 201 to 400, and the next day up to 600, etc. If we do this every day, we can send up to 9,000 messages a month, and that is huge. That is a greater capability than LinkedIn has ever allowed by far. So please remember to do the right thing, take advantage of this, let's all have a great time using this. I am going to do upgrades to this. There's several upgrades I'm going to be doing, but I wanted to make sure to get this video out right now so that everybody knows exactly how to use the system, and make sure that you do those best practices. All right, thank you for watching.